everyone. Okay, earlier today, I was in my kitchen and I had this very distinct smell of what I know to be Old Spice. You know, that very old deodorant, cologne kind of thing, the Old Spice with the ship as the logo. I had that very distinct scent in my kitchen. It was so strong and so powerful. It was quite overwhelming. So, as I connected in with that smell, that energy, I knew that obviously, being Old Spice, and how do I know it's Old Spice? I have this ancient memory of Old Spice, but also when I would breathe in the smell to try to ping what the scent was, the ship, the logo would come into my vision. So I'm very certain, 100% certain, that the smell in my kitchen was Old Spice. Obviously related to a gentleman. And as I, feeling into that and connecting in with this elderly gentleman, because it is elderly, Old Spice is an older generation scent, even though I'm pretty sure it's still around these days. It is an older gentleman scent. It felt like this gentleman wasn't specifically for me. So it felt like this Old Spice, we're going to call him Old Spice, it felt like Old Spice was a drop in. Spirit just dropping in, letting me know that, hey, I'm here. Your olfactory senses are picking up on me. I'm the Old Spice guy. I'm the Old Spice guy. So I wanted to, because that's as far as it went, and potentially that's all that I'm going to get from this gentleman, is the identification that it was a gentleman. The scent was Old Spice, and as I say that, the scent is coming back in. So he's found his way out into the healing studio, which is great. And it may just be a simple reference to me being able to pick up on smells and connecting in or sensing spirit that way. But I did want to take the opportunity to see if we can draw in Old Spice, and just see what he's all about. Okay, so Old Spice guy. I don't have that scent of Old Spice anymore, but I do have the elderly gentleman image. And I have the image of an elderly gentleman, not a tall, I wouldn't call him a tall gentleman, I'd call him more of a shorter gentleman, hunched over a walking stick, a cane, and kind of doing that old man shuffling with his walking stick, hunched over. He's got a hat on. Oh, this hat is fabulous. How can I describe it? It's not grey, but it's not black. It's an in-between. It's in between a grey and a black. So where I would place it in modern terms with a gunmetal grey, if that makes sense to anybody. So the hat is not a bowler hat, but it is similar to that. So the brim, I guess, is a little flatter than what a bowler hat would be, and not as round on the top either. So, but it's not, I'm getting in the image of an akubra, so it's not an akubra style hat. And again, we're in Australia, so my reference material is based on where I've grown up, based on my experiences. So there is a band around this gunmetal grey hat, I'm going to call it, a hat band. The hat band doesn't seem to quite match the coloring of the hat. So the hat band seems to be kind of this black to yellow design. Black to yellow design. That's the only way I can describe it. I'm not actually picking up on what the intricacy of the design work, but I can see that it's flecking blacks and it's flecking yellows. Yeah. The really cool part though is that there is a feathered section on this cap. He calls it a cap. Where's my cap? It doesn't, cap doesn't suit the imagery of the hat. Yeah. But this gentleman, Old Spice, calls it a cap. And as he relates that to me, he's actually having a bit of a giggle because it seems to have been a bit of a joke that he would call this hat a cap. And no matter what anybody in the family told him, that was his name for it. It was a cap, get my cap, grab my cap, gotta grab my cap. It was like a joke. It was a intimate family joke. It was a bit of fun, and he kept it that way. He knew it was a hat, but he chose to keep it on, keep it funny, keep it funny. So there are feathers in this cap, and that's so cool. I'm just trying to draw in the correct image because I actually see this plumage shrink and then expand. So I get a small set attached to the band, and then I get a larger set attached to the band. So it's almost like it grows. And as I have acknowledged that, I see these yellow, these what I'd call more yellow to black. Yep, so the band black to yellow, so predominantly black with the yellow. These tall feathers that I see in the hat's plumage are more yellow to black, so they're more yellow with black through them. Yeah, they are kind of those thin, pointy ones, though. Thin, pointy one. At least one of those in the plumage. So I do see that the plumage in the hat is, it's like there's two sets of plumage in the hat. So there's the tall set that kind of shoots off the hat a little, and then there is the shorter set that is, I'm getting blues and greens and grays and black hues in the shorter set as well. Yeah. So it's like these, oh, okay. It's like, so it really is like two sets of feather plumage have been added to this hat. And he does tell me that the feather plumages were built on. So the hat slash cap originally came with the smaller plumage, and no, this is people, family members have added feathers to the hat. Yeah. Okay, so somebody has this hat. Somebody has this hat, and they do continue to every now and then add what they feel is a very special feather. And that special feeling is when they pick up a feather, when a feather comes into their view or onto their path, and they feel it actually really relates to the Old Spice gentleman. So I'm just trying to see, like, once I've acknowledged that everything's gone really quiet, he's settled, his energy is settled. So I'm just going to, okay, so if you can tell, like my body is actually swaying and moving. And this is because he's beginning to dance. And it feels like the person who has the hat, the person who feels like that particular feathers are coming from him, they used to dance together. This was something special, and to Old Spice, it feels like it was a younger female, so it may have been his daughter. Whom he used to dance with. I just need to clarify whether it's a daughter he's dancing with or whether it's a granddaughter. So I see, so what happens when I acknowledge that is in my mind's eye, in my imagery, as I acknowledged that I needed to clarify whether it was the daughter he's dancing with or whether it was a granddaughter he's dancing with, the image of the young girl got smaller. Yeah. So I feel that relates to a granddaughter that he would dance with. And I see her little tiny feet on his feet and they would dance together, and that was one of the most joyous times for both of you, both Old Spice and his granddaughter. And the name Eileen comes in, and I really feel like this, is it the granddaughter's name? Is it the daughter's name? Where is Eileen coming from? And what I feel is that at some point, he gives it to me as the turn of the century, but I don't know that that's right. I do get the song Come On Eileen, that at some point that was incredible. Oh, somebody is named Come On Eileen. And when that song came out, it was really the kind of family dynamics where it was like, come on, Eileen, when they wanted Eileen to go somewhere, when they were leaving the house. So Eileen, who is Eileen? Is she wife? Is she daughter? Is she granddaughter? It feels like Eileen is the wife of Old Spice. Yeah, it feels like it sums up the relationship of Old Spice and his wife, and I'm going to keep referring to her as Eileen. It feels like their relationship was just the sweetest, funniest kind of thing. It might not look like it to other people, but the come on, Eileen, as you're leaving the house, that was, that pretty much sums up the relationship. It was fun. It was upbeat. It was banter. The majority of the relationship was just simply banter. Okay, so he's gone really quiet once more, but I do have the word pleasure. So I'm just kind of having that internal dialogue, checking with him, what does that mean? Where can we go with that? Like, how does that relate to either anchoring it in or projecting the message that he's come to me to put out there today? So ultimately, it feels like Old Spice is showing up, first of all, to allow me to recognize my olfactory senses as a way of sensing spirit. Second of all, to allow the granddaughter who is still collecting feathers and occasionally adding a feather to Grandpa's cap, that he's here, he sees that, he acknowledges that, and that the relationship was so special, and he appreciates it, and he appreciates the way that granddaughter is carrying the memory, and carrying the energy of him forward. Oh, okay. And ultimately, that pleasure is all about spicing up your life, bringing that spice back into your life, bringing the spice back into relationships, bringing the spice back into family homes, bringing the spice back into whatever it is that you are doing in any given moment. Yep. Now, the spice isn't intimately sexual or anything like that. It's not necessarily raunchy. It's fun. It's the joy. It's the joyful experiences that you have in your everyday life. Yeah. Connect in with the joy, with the love, with the happiness, with the fun that is all around you every day. Create it. Choose to spice up your life. Now, that message is for his family, but it is also for all of us. To spice up our lives, to not be so serious with ourselves, to not be so serious with our relationships, to not be so serious within our families, to allow the fun and the joy to access our daily living, but to also permeate our everyday experiences, so that we are filling our bodies, our hearts, our souls, healing our minds with happiness and joy. That's it. Please feel free to reach out and let me know if any of this relates to you. Other than that, please take that beautiful message to spice up your life, to invite in joy, to invite joy into every minute, every fiber of your being and of your day.